Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Us. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, guys? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining the show. Today's show is titled, My Husband Told Me That He Doesn't Listen to Me. And we're going to get into this because listening, reflective listening, how you listen, how you don't listen is such a huge part of marriages and cause tons of communication dismantling, and it's just terrible. So let's get into it.
All right. I don't know what you're doing. Just
I'm
turn the
having a
music
show.
on.
That's what I'm
I don't
doing.
know what you're doing.
Dismantling. Who says that?
You do when you have music playing. You talk slower and say things that don't quite make sense.
I guess so. It's my
Anyway,
drill.
before we start the show, we wanted to read a review. This review is from 1-838-289-4939. So glad that you sent in a review. And it says, phenomenal. Stumbling across this podcast has been so beneficial. I've learned so much in a short amount of time, and I can't wait to continue to grow. Thanks, Melanie and Seth. You guys are great. Real and raw. Strongly recommend this podcast. Appreciate you both. Smiley face emoji. Thank you, 1-832-889-4939.
Yeah, there we go. So, okay. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love what we do. We love that you're tuning in. Share the show with your friends. Make it awesome. Go review.
With your friends.
Now, my husband told me that he does not listen to me. Okay. My husband told me last week he only hears what he wants to. I'm trying to make this marriage work, but that really discouraged me. What should I do?
That's a crappy place to be. But I will say, unless it's like your husband was like, I only hear what I want to. Or he was like, oh, you know what? I think I only hear what I want to.
That's a good point.
Like that's a really different vibe. So I guess it's what vibe did he have going in? And I guess we should answer both because
Okay, yeah.
they're two different scenarios that probably happen all the time.
So, man, let's see. I'm trying to make this marriage work, but that really discouraged me. So,
Yeah, that sentence has a lot.
yeah,
it.
we'll still have to just answer them both, right? So let's start out with the bad news first, I guess, right? Hey, I only hear what I want to, so
Speaking to
whatever.
You, right? Say it again. Do acting. Okay,
Hey.
and go.
Hey, I don't care about this. I only hear what I want to, so whatever.
You can't even. You're so nice. You can't even sound mean. Say it like you're really mean.
Hey!
Not like that. I only hear what I want to.
I only hear what I want to, so tough luck, B.
There you go. Now we tapped into it.
Right. Okay. So if your husband is taking that stance, obviously your response and our response is going to be different, but let's assume that is up. So
That is up.
yeah, that's
what he's doing.
What's going on, right?
So what would you say? I want to kind of steer this for a split second here.
Mm-hmm.
As a dude, if you heard, like, let's say one of your best friends said that to their wives and you were in a position to be like, hey, I can actually step in. So I'm going to use Paul. Y'all have, if you have been around, you know Paul. He would never say this to his wife. She'd probably kill him. But let's say we were together and Paul says to Robin, I only hear what I want to. So what would you say to Paul?
So I probably wouldn't say anything if we were like out at dinner, or whatnot. However, Paul,
I would.
Paul's in the mastermind, badasshusband.com.
Yeah.
And if Paul was man in the middle and said that to us, to these other dudes, we're like, all right, ass kicking time. Let's go. Right?
Let's go.
And I would say something to this effect to Paul or any other guy in the group that said, I only listen to what I want to. I'm like, I'll just say, okay, say that again. No, I only listen to what I want to listen to. Tell me other areas that you do that. Do you do that at work, with your other friends, with your other family, with your kids, or is it only with your wife? Well, mostly with just my wife. And then I would just dive into that. I'm like, that is a selfish way to look at things.
Stupid model.
And probably does not get you what you want more of in the marriage. Sex, maybe, emotional connection, spiritual connection, being with your best friend.
Having fun.
These things aren't getting, because that is a very selfish way to look at things, right? So Paul,
we threw Paul under the bus.
Get your head out of your ass and stop doing that, right? Go read a book on reflective listening. Talk to this more about your dudes in the mastermind group.
Right.
Talk to your wife about it, because this will not get you what you want and will only get you less of what you don't want.
Right.
And then you'll blame your wife for responding how she is. And then you're going to say it's her faults. And then you're just going to dig your heels into more of like, well, I just, what else?
I wish you'd stop complaining.
Hey, Paul, and we're not dragging you under the bus here, dude. Trust me. Hey, Paul, when you go to the mailbox, do you only open the checks and leave the bills there because you don't want to pay the bills?
I only open the mail I want to open.
Right. Do you only...
Think of it like at a mechanic.
Do you only do the assignments that your job requires that are going to be fun, that are like work trips and like dinners out for entertaining new clients? Or do you just ignore all your paperwork and, let your quarterly financials just go to hell because, well, I don't, that's me. I
don't do hard work.
That doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work in any other area of your life. You only work out when you want to. Well, probably not that fit.
I want to talk. So what I was going to say.
I talk when I want to.
I like to think of it like you use the analogy, like where else would you do that? And I keep thinking of like, if you took your car in and you're like, dude, man, my car really isn't working well. So over here we have car, over here we have marriage, right? My car's really not working well. And the mechanic is like, you have absolutely no oil in here. And if you just put oil in here and then you're over here going, want oil schmoil.
Oil.
I only
Everybody needs oil.
So if you completely ignore, or actually not completely ignore, if you only hear the things you want to hear, you'll hear a part of what the problem is. You won't hear the solution. And then you'll leave that mechanic shop having to literally turn right back around and come back because you didn't learn the thing you needed to learn to fix it. Right. So I like making that analogy or drawing that line there because it is so accurate. Like if you choose to listen to part of what your spouse is saying, you won't be fully informed. You'll have to go back for clarity, which will make you look like a douche because you didn't listen. And it will make you more frustrated, which will make you listen less, you will create a cycle. Essentially, you burn out the engine of your marriage, just like you would burn out the engine of your car if you didn't put any oil schmoil in it.
Hey, honey, are you done grilling the chicken? No, I just cooked it for 2 minutes because I didn't want to cook it all the way. Let's eat.
I only cook what I want to the temperature and length that I want to.
It doesn't make sense, bro.
It's dumb.
Sorry, I don't know you, but I broed you. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Okay, so now let's flip this over and read this question like this was the husband coming to him and saying, oh, shit.
With a realization.
Right? So my husband told me last week he only hears what he wants to. In the context of my husband said, man, I only hear what I want to, and I realize that's a problem.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, yikes. Okay, what do we do, babe? Let's go. Kind of thing.
Right. I think right out of the gate in this and in the other scenario too is sometimes this is just something we saw modeled as like our parents do this kind of thing, right? Like maybe you saw your dad or he saw his dad only care about what he cared about and completely ignore his wife or your mother or whatever. So that could be one context in which that is happening. So that, I don't know, I just want to like pop that in there. But if your husband is coming to you and saying, man, I just realized I only listen to the things I want to listen to. I only hear what I want to hear. That is a great opportunity for you to begin having conversations on how to repair that or how to like systematize him listening into your day-to-day routines, especially if he doesn't know how, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to do something, you're just the awareness of not knowing how is not going to give you the ability to know how to do it.
Just identifying the problem, you have to like
I don't know how to ride a bike. Oh, now I do.
Yeah, words are great. Actions supersede words every single time. So if I said this to you, like, oh, Mel, I think that I don't know how to listen. How would you want to help me in that? Or actually, when there's something that you really want me to listen to, what do you do?
I will typically lovingly say, hey, I really actually need you to focus on this thing just for a minute. Like I'll say it like that to make like almost like put a flag. This thing is important. I know I talk a lot. We talk a lot. There's a lot going on, but this thing is key. Perk up your ears.
Perk up the ears, right? What else do you do?
I don't know. Are you looking for me to say something specific?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, specific? No, just more. Because I know that you do more.
I will write notes. I will make it almost like impossible for him to forget the thing that was important. But also not being pushy or mean about it. So
now, is that me like being a slack ass and doing nothing? No, she knows if she has a really strong point that she wants me to know and incorporate or take action on. She's like, I need your attention. Doot.
Right.
Right?
Sometimes it's not even it's usually not a point. It's more like,
Well,
I need help getting Hattie signed up for this cooking class. I'm at the store. I can't do it. Can you do that? Like, it's stuff like that. But like, we will use many forms of communication, not just talking. Because I think one thing I really want to say here that's really important, I know for us anyway, and I'm speaking in broad strokes, many people probably aren't this way, but we are this way. And I'm guessing a lot of guys are this way. Women talk a lot more than men typically in the relationships we've worked with, and men get to a point where their brain kind of like clicks off. So Seth might be looking at me nodding, but I guarantee you he's not really listening. How many times can you hear me talk about how cute the puppy is? Oh, look at the dogs in the yard. They're chasing each other.
I ain't care about another damn puppy in my whole life.
That's rude.
No, I like him because you like him. So there.
Right.
This happened this morning, actually. I was working on something and you got done with your women's group coaching call, by the way, anatomyofus.com/women's group coaching to really get in proximity to awesome kick-ass women. You came down to your call. You're all excited. How'd the call go? Then you started talking about measurely stuff, and you literally were just laying out this, and this. And I said, hey, I'm overwhelmed here.
He literally said that sentence. Hey, I'm getting a little overwhelmed. But he wasn't like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Ugh.
Right. So this makes me think of a possible pattern in these guys' relationships. Wife, are you downloading everything to your husband? And it seems like you're talking about the same old thing or same what. And I don't know. I'm saying this is a possible scenario. Your husband might just be a douche, and I don't know. So there might be too much going on that you're telling him this way. Because in the past, I've made the mistake of like, okay, I want to be a good husband and like listen to her.
Right.
And then
4
just go,
hours later.
Nobody cares. Who cares? Nobody cares. Kill me now kind of thing. And then I get mad at it later.
That was good. Well, and what's interesting is that
I hate it here.
I hate it here. Oh, you brooked it.
I guess
hate
so.
it here. This is not elevated. So one of the things that helped me realize this pattern in men and women, it wasn't Seth, actually. It was, did I just touch your nipple? What just happened? I didn't mean to.
It is cold in
I
here.
think it was the cord. It felt very hard.
It's the cord.
It was funny.
Jeez.
But anyway, one of the things that helped me realize that most men's brains shut off at a certain point of talking was our sons, especially Tough.
Really?
I mean, Mariner can talk to me like all day long. That's not true, but Tough especially will literally say, Mom, I can't focus on what you're saying. Like I'm tired. And it's really cute. Like it's funny, but he's being the most authentically honest ever. He's not trying to be like nodding and smiling at me because I'm expecting, if I'm talking to him, I'm expecting him to listen. So he knows, like, if I can't tell Mom what she just said to me, I'll get in trouble. So I tell Mom I can't listen anymore.
Right.
And so it has helped me a ton to realize that in the past, we used to argue for like 4 hours, like at night until like 2 a.m. It would happen all the time. And that was basically my fault. And I shouldn't have done it. And there's a point at which you've said all the words you need to say. You don't need to freaking cry about it. You don't need to be like an idiot about it. You're not your spouse's teacher. Like all of those things, ladies, like this is where you need to step up your game and change how you talk to your husband. If you are talking nonstop, zip it. What? So funny.
Zip it.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny because a lot of times we take in listener questions and turn it right back around on the person that wrote kind of thing.
Talking about me.
Yeah, I know, but it's just funny. I mean, maybe we're giving like hopefully good advice to like both people.
Oh, I see what
trying
you're
to
saying.
cover all bases because the context we have is just a couple of sentences.
Well, I think it's important though. There is no like one. Typically, there's not just one person causing the problem in these situations, right? So like you may have unintentionally created a husband who doesn't want to listen to you because you talk too much.
Because there's been so much, I don't know, static or just like I mean, there were, I guess, when I was like, okay, peace out, right? But still be there.
And one of our goals in the podcast is to create tools and resources to help people get over these hurdles. So if you need like, go to anatomyofus.com and go into the resources tab and see the clearing structure. You can download a free tool called the clearing structure that will help you. Like if you've got a problem that you need to communicate to your spouse, it walks you through like fill in the blank style, how to solve that problem and different, you know what I'm talking about? Like different way. And it's actually based off of a therapeutic model. Right. So we made it work for everyday couples. So go get the clearing structure so that if you have an issue you want to talk to about your spouse, it will take 15 minutes and not 3 hours. That brain space, giving that back to your husband will be really helpful. Now, again, this is assuming you have a good and kind husband, not a douche canoe. So if you have a douche canoe, go get therapy or get him into the men's mastermind. What'd you say?
Better get some paddles.
Get a life jacket, get some paddles. But that is sort of a different scenario and again, like what Seth was saying, if you are realizing that you are a douche canoe and only listen to your wife when you want to, join the men's mastermind. Put skin in the game to fix this problem because it's going to tear your marriage apart. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, it will. And let's just talk about coaching for a minute. So coaching provides an experience for you that is only focused on what you want, how you want to grow, calling you on all your bullshit, and encouraging you and keeping you accountable to the nth degree. If that sounds good, shoot us an email, hello@anatomymarriage.com, and sign up for an exploratory call to see if you would be a good fit, because we just don't take anybody because we are ready to invest the time and the effort and the heart and the energy in your marriage, and you have to be there too.
I ain't working harder than my clients. I tell you that much.
No, it never works. I've done that before with therapy clients. It does not work, right? And in therapy, unlike coaching, therapy talks about past stuff and oftentimes can keep you stuck, and your therapist won't tell you what you need to hear.
Trying to guide you
and stuff like that. But which is fine. We all need healing, of course. But after you get done with the healing, come to the coaching where you go, all right, I just poured actual gas on this thing, lighten it up in a good way. We're moving forward. Accountability, encouragement, ass kicking, allowing you to believe in yourself like we believe in you, right? Our coach was like, he just texted me a couple days ago, Seth, you're a badass. You got this. You can do it. Let's jump on a call. I'm like, you're right. I can. Let's freaking go. About cuss. I always get super passionate and want to say a million F-bombs when I talk about this stuff because it's real. Like, we love coaching. We love what we do. We have experienced very, very powerful coaching for ourselves, and then also been able to facilitate very, very powerful coaching for our clients. We've changed marriages. We've helped people create businesses, international businesses, for crying out loud. We've helped them get into their zone of genius, whereas before coaching, they didn't know what zone of genius was.
Felt stuck.
They felt stuck, right? So email hello@anatomymarriage.com to talk about coaching.
Or go to anatomyofus.com, sign up there.
Sign up there because it is a life-changing experience. And one thing that I wanted to think about, think about your summer last year, right? 2021 summer. Did you go on vacation? Did you go to the lake? Did you do stuff? Was it fun? Was it just like the same old thing, right? Make this summer's vacation and time with yourself and your family different than last year if it was a crappy experience. Do the work now. Coaching, go to the gym, get counseling, go to the baddesthusband.com mastermind or women's group coaching. Make it different from your summer. I am looking super forward to this summer. One, we're doing a lot of fun stuff with the mastermind and just vacations and stuff like that.
I forgot about that.
But two,
it's my birthday. Two is because of my birthday.
Yes, that's the main reason I'm excited. Every summer, it's your birthday. It's great.
It's your birthday every summer.
No, but right now, I'm envisioning what I want my summer to look like, body-wise.
Me too.
Are you really?
I am.
That's what...
I wanted you to sign me up for the gym today if you were going.
I know.
And because that's my goal.
So, what do you want your summer to look like? Do things now that the future you will be thankful for. And if you need coaching, do it. And I'm not talking about like, oh yeah, coaching would be a good idea. Let's, go to the gym twice a week. No, I'm talking about changing your life.
Don't be Kip.
Changing your mind, changing your marriage, changing your family, changing your trajectory. Like for me, I am planning an actual kick-ass rocket summer. Kind of like last year.
Okay.
Last summer was awesome.
Last summer was awesome.
It was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We took a couple of plane rides to exotic places and it was rad.
Yeah.
I plan to do that this year, but even look better, feel better, and be more present this year. Do you think I just did that shit alone? Do you think I just go, oh, okay, yeah. No. We're talking about it in Badass Husband Mastermind with you, in my own process kind of thing. And that's what it takes. The price of your old life will cost you, the price of your new life will cost you your old one.
Right.
If you didn't like last summer, learn from it, make this summer rad and awesome in every way. You can do it. You can do it. So many people think they don't have what it takes. They don't have the skills. They don't have the toolbox. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes you got to go out and get the skills and the toolbox and the feedback from someone who has already done it. But we all have the capability.
Capability.
You have it.
Yes, I agree.
It's there. It's there.
Go do it.
Go do it. Hello, anatomymarriage.com. Go to Anatomy of Us. Click that little thing. Start coaching. We'll get on a call.
Or join
and
the
you
mastermind.
will coach with us. You will join us for 90 days and your life will be turned around. I swear to God.
Swear to G.
I swear to G.
Anyway, this was a great episode. Thank you for sending in your question about, or your husband only listening to what he wants to hear. I hope that this has been helpful, that it's been insightful, and men, calling you out here, ladies as well. So ladies, if you have done this, if you have been listening to this episode and you think to yourself, you think, oh, that's me. I only hear what I want to hear. I encourage you to take the steps, step out of your comfort zone and admit, like, in a good way. And with a, like, I don't know, repentant is the only word I can think of. Is there a better word for repentant that sounds less Catholic?
You identify the situation.
And
you identify the situation. You go, oh, okay. Then I need to humble myself and admit to my own self.
Right.
Check your ego at the door.
Right. And be like, sorry, as you apologize for, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, you repenting, like, man, what I did when I didn't, like, it's like when I realized that I hadn't really been listening to you and I had been sort of like bulldozing you all the time. Do you remember that? I cried for like 3 days. I like couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
And it sucked to feel that way, but it sucked more that I had made him feel so bad for so long. And if I had just been like, man, sorry, I was a total beatie.
Right.
See you later. Like, if I hadn't actually given the feeling and like the repentant side of it, it would mean a lot less to Seth.
Absolutely. We probably wouldn't be here right now because that is really hard to deal with. I've had clients, therapy and coaching clients who are like, what? What's the big deal? What's going on? I'm like,
right. That's what you like. That's what you say.
Not very self-aware, which
Right.
we can work on. But thank you guys so much. We hope this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, leave a rating and review.
Just 1 second. So sorry. If you, I was going to want to wrap that part up first.
Got
Sorry.
it.
So if you find that this is you in this scenario, you're the spouse who doesn't listen and you're having an awakening moment, please talk to your spouse about it. And remember, you don't need to fight. If you are going to feel defensive, because if you bring up something that has hurt them in the past, they're going to want to jump on it. Because it's almost like what's that? Cathartic. Like, oh my gosh, I can finally say this out loud.
Right.
And it might make them even more mad. So be prepared for that if you want to talk to your spouse about behaviors that you didn't realize you were doing. And now you have awareness of them. And like, cover it with grace, cover it with a growth mindset and a vision. Casting a vision when you're trying to heal anything is so helpful. So cast a vision of like, man, I realize that I've only been listening to parts of what you're saying and what I want to hear. And that's unkind. So moving forward, what I would love to see is that I listen to you more fully. I help you feel listened to, right? So you're casting a vision so that you both have something to move toward. I think that is my new sort of like motto lately, is just like cast a vision for it. Cast a vision for all of these things.
We want to go there. Let's get the tools,
Yeah.
resources, concepts that we need. Let's go together. Okay, guys, go to iTunes, rate and review the show. Share it with your friends. That helps us so much and gets us higher and higher in the marriage ratings, because our goal is to be the #1 marriage podcast out there, and we can do it. So
That's right.
go rate and review the show, guys. Thank you so much. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Music, music, music.